You see the second star to the right? Turn back. It ain't no Neverland where you're going. God damn it, do the thing.
Chirping little child of the
Okay. This version I do. Hi everyone. It's me, Grant the movie and TV guy. Angry Grant show. Let's get this over with. You notice I delayed this a couple days. I saw this movie Monday night and I needed some time to sit with it. And yeah. Hi everyone. It's me, Grant the movie and TV guy. Welcome to Raising on Popcorn with Grant, everybody. And today we're talking about a movie. Movies and TV, that's what we do here. And that movie is Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare is the third film in the twisted childhood universe following Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, which sucked, and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, which surprisingly didn't suck. Now we have this one. It is directed by Scott Jeffrey, who... Oh, really? Damn. He also played Christopher Robin in Blood and Honey 2. That fucking sucks. So what is Pete? And he wrote it as well, so he is to blame for this. What is Winnie the Pooh damn it, not Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare about? Well, you know that classic childhood story about the chirpy little boy who would never grow up and chased his shadow around and whisked the darling siblings off to Neverland with his lost boys and did battle with a disfigured pirate known as Captain Hook. Well, imagine that story if instead there was no Neverland. Peter was a heroin addict. Tinkerbell was a trans woman who was also a drug addict who was brutalized by Peter Pan for no reason. And the darling siblings are not quite the siblings we know, and Hook isn't exactly the Hook we know, and Peter is basically the grabber from the Black Phone. Cross with Pennywise. Fuck the plot. Okay. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey was bad. It didn't offend me. It was too stupid to be offended by. Blood and Honey 2 is actually decent. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare is a new low. I fucking hated this movie. I detested this movie. I loathed this movie. I thought it was just vile and horrid, not scary, not funny, just ugly. There's nothing, and not even really good in the gore department. This is just... Everybody knows this. I like gory movies. I like the Terrifier sequels. I loved The Substance. I love Thanksgiving. You know, I love... one of my favorite movies of all time is Grindhouse. I am not averse to... sadistic horror gore fest, the Saw movies. This movie, the difference between those movies and this movie is those movies had a personality and they had characters and they had at least something inventive behind them. This movie is just misery. It's just vile. It's cruel for the sake of being cruel. There's no point here. There's no character here. And then on top of all of that, this movie is insanely homophobic and transphobic. Now, I don't want to hear anybody tell me in the comments that, okay, sure, the actress who played Tinkerbell is a trans woman, so how can it be transphobic and homophobic? Well, I'll explain to you why. And this requires spoilers. This movie... The most sympathetic character in the film is, in fact, Tinkerbell. I want to actually credit this actor, because she was terrific. Kit Green is her name. She's great. And I wish she wasn't in this, because what this movie essentially is Peter is a child abductor because he in his childhood was gay, abused, and had his genitals mutilated by his mother, and became a heroin addict, and also a pedophile, and has been abducting these kids. There are moments of sequences in which Peter kisses Tinkerbell, and it's played to be funny almost. It's played to be sort of leering at and making joke about LGBTQ plus intimacy. But on top of all of that is the fact that the most brutal death in the film is reserved for Tinkerbell, the trans character, and it lingers on it. And because they do a good job at the offset of making this character sympathetic, it makes it worse. Why do that? Why reserve the most horrible death for that? Also, the F slur is used for no reason other than to have it in there in written form, but it's used. Mind you, by someone who is seen as an antagonist, but still. This movie's also ugly looking. It's poorly shot. There's no life to it. There's no sense of humor to it. But beyond all of that, there's a hatefulness to it. And believe it or not, there was a couple at my screening, one member of whom was trans. And when I was telling a friend about the movie afterwards, a friend who works at the theater I saw the film in, they agreed with me. They straight up said, like, yeah, this movie was offensive because of the cruelty inflicted on the Tinkerbell character. There's no reason for it. It's unnecessary. There's absolutely no justification for it. And it makes you feel like the movie is made by somebody with a dark heart. And I'm not talking about in the sensibilities of that they make splatter movies. I'm talking about in the sensibilities of who they are when the camera stops rolling. There is just this sense that this person is trying to make light of cruelty toward LGBTQ and queer people, and that pisses me off. That genuinely makes me angry, because there's no reason for it. There's no reason for that at all. But beyond all of that, if that were the only problem with this movie, that wouldn't be enough to give it the score I'm going to give it. It also doesn't help by the fact that this movie is just lousy. It's not creepy. It's not well made. It's the fact that the other thing is the Pooh movies, whether successful or not, it depends. There was a sense that they lived in a world still of fantasy. This movie, by trying to make it gritty and realistic, actually makes it worse because it becomes ugly. It becomes there's less of a style or a personality to it. And on top of all of that, this movie, let's talk about theft for a second. This movie robs, and I know people say, like, oh, okay, nothing is truly original in Hollywood. Everything borrows from everything else. Yes, but they straight up lift entire scenes full sail from it and the Black Phone in this. Scenes, costumes, set design, everything. It is so obvious that is what they are doing. But the difference is, those films found a way to be creepy and, grotesque and frightening without feeling the need to damage, a chunk of the population of the world with just disgusting, mean-spirited cruelty. And so after a while, it just becomes... I don't know, I just felt shabby walking out of this, and that's a feeling I rarely feel at these kind of movies. I love these kind of movies. I love splatter movies. I love slasher movies. I left this theater just feeling kind of sick. Not in a way... Yes, there are movies that are gorier, objectively, than this. But those movies, like Terrifier 2 and 3, but they have a personality. There is a sense of character to the cruelty. There's a sense of filmmaking to it. There's a sense of humor to it and personality to it and style to it. None of that here. There's no real lore to it. And a friend of mine, Brittany, said it best yesterday. We were talking about it at the screening for the film we're going to be reviewing next year, about how, like, the thing that sucks about this whole idea is that there is in fact potential in doing childhood literary characters as horror villains. There is, and I do think there's genuinely potential here, but I think that the issue is do it well. And I think that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 showed what you can do if you have fun with the premise and kind of poke fun at it and really do something cool with it. This movie's a step in the wrong direction. This is a step backwards. There's no reason to do this the way they did it. And on top of that, beyond everything else, the cruelty again toward, LGBTQIA plus people, it's just unnecessary. It doesn't need to be there. You can do the same movie with the same idea and not have all the the homophobia and stuff in it. There's no need for it. None at all. And for those reasons and the fact that it's also just a shitty movie, I'm going to give Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare one of these. Yeah, you see it. 0 stars, middle finger of kindness. I hated this movie. Fuck this movie. It truly depressed me in a way that I can't even begin to describe. And there's no humor in it either. There's no lightness of touch at all. It's just awful cruelty. There's no point. Anyway, yeah, so, and not even like thoughtful cruelty. There's no purpose behind going through all of this horrific stuff at all. There's no catharsis. There's no symbolism. There's no point. It's just downbeat for the sake of being downbeat, and that's not fun. And it's not, effective either. So yeah, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, 0 stars, middle finger of kindness. Let's close the book on it. Fuck this movie. Trailer trash, none. None at my screening. Was there shawarma? No, there was not. All right, that is it. We will be back right after this for a review of Game Changer, the latest Tollywood epic starring Ram Charan. Also this week, we got a packed week coming up. We got reviews coming up in a surprise turn, because they're doing a special one-off screening after the fact, so I finally get to see it. Trailer Park Boys presents Standing on the Shoulders of Kitties, the Bubbles and the Shit Rockers story. Yes, that is the full title. The latest Trailer Park Boys film. Big fan of Trailer Park Boys. Seen literally everything Trailer Park Boys. I'm a fan. An uber fan. I'm really excited for this one. We also got Wolfman coming up. We will be checking that out. We also have, finally, Nickel Boys coming up. We'll be checking that out. Been looking forward to that one, too. Autumn and the Black Jaguar, the spiritual successor to The Wolf and the Lion, which anybody who knows this channel knows that is a bad movie I love. We also got coming up Hard Truths. I'm going to be checking that out this week as well. The latest from Mike Lee, starring Marianne Jean-Baptiste, as well as the drama Wish You Were Here, directed by, of all people, Julia Stiles. That's surprising. So yeah, all that and more coming up. Maybe also Back in Action. We're going to try to check that out as well. But yeah, that's coming up, and that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Love you all, classes missed. I love you 3,000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does. That's what you're supposed to do, or so I've been told. Leave a comment, even if it's, "Hey Grant, I like waffles." It really helps out. And if you want to find me elsewhere, reviews, lists, and other fun stuff, you can find me on all my social media. I'm on literally everything, either Raised on Popcorn with Grant or Raised on Popcorn. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important. And I want to know down below, what did you think of Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below. Let me know. Until we meet again, we were all raised on popcorn. Big mouth, extra butter. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone. See you around. Bye.